Well, Zev, we are in a place that has a particularly fascinating history. A lot of things went down right here. I guess we should start with King David's heritage and lineage.
So where we're standing right now, Eric, 10 years ago, this is all underground. Our visitor center is directly above our heads. One morning, a woman by the name of Dr. Eilat Mazar, she's an archaeologist whose father was an archaeologist, whose grandfather was an archaeologist. She comes into our visitor center and she says, you guys need to move your offices. We ask her why. She says, King David's palace is located beneath your feet. So we said, you know, Dr. Mazar, people have been excavating here for the last 150 years. It's the most excavated site in the country. Nobody's ever said that before. What makes you so certain? So Dr. Mazar says, first, the city of David is a city on a hill. Where would you expect to find the palace? At the top of the hill. This is the top of the city of David. But she says something even more convincing. She says, if you look over here, we have this royal Phoenician capital was discovered 50 years ago by British archaeologist Kathleen Kenyon at the base of the hill that we're standing on right now. Now, Phoenicia is modern-day Lebanon. Yes. And Dr. Mazar says this royal Phoenician capital proves that where we are standing right now, that this is the location of King David's palace. So we said, wait a minute, Dr. Mazar, maybe it proves something about the ancient Phoenicians, but what does it have to do with David? Now, Dr. Mazar is a special kind of archaeologist because in one hand, she walks around with a shovel, and in the other hand, she walks around with the Bible. And she says, you want to know why we find a royal Phoenician capital in ancient Jerusalem? Because in the Bible, in 2 Samuel, chapter 5, verse 11, it says, after David captures this city, he then reaches out to his neighbors in the north. And it says here in verse 11, King Hiram of Tyre sent envoys to David with cedar logs, carpenters, and stonemasons, and they built a palace for David. So Dr. Mazar says, why is there a Phoenician capital in ancient Jerusalem? Because it was the Phoenicians who built David's palace. So now, the Israel Antiquities Authority, together with Dr. Mazar from Hebrew University, they come in here, they begin excavating. Dr. Mazar finds pottery that she dates to the time of David 3,000 years ago, 10th century BCE.
Right where we're standing.
Right where we're standing, right over here. And some people agree with her, this could be the spot. Others say, the pottery, we think it's about 100 years after David. So what's the debate? The debate is not over what this area was. This was the royal government center of the Davidic dynasty. The debate here is over whether King David himself was sitting here or his grandson. Personally, that's not keeping me up at night. But I'll tell you something amazing where you see how the archaeology today is confirming the biblical truth.
Exactly, the proof that the Jewish people have been here for a long time. I'm pinching myself, Zev, to be standing here, not only as a man of faith, but just as a student of history. If you're a history buff, the Bible is a great outlier of the history of the Middle East, the history of Israel, and this is a perfect place to come to do it.